Hello, everyone, and welcome to another extra episode of the Coffee House Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas Castillo, and I'm here with our first one-on-one episode. Our first guest on here is the one and only Alexis Mother Trucking Smith.
No,
What's
do it
poppin'?
over. You messed up too much. Do it over. I deserve a better
Shut
intro.
up.
I am
Shut
the
up.
favorite co-host. We all know it. Fan favorite.
The
Do
quote-unquote
it
favorite
again.
co-host.
I'm never your favorite.
Okay,
Let's be real.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another extra episode of the Coffee House Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas Castillo, and here I have the quote-unquote favorite host, Alexis Smith. What's poppin'?
You didn't have to say quote unquote like that.
Hey,
No, now I'm a little offended. I'll just return your
yeah?
birthday gift. I'll keep it for myself.
Uh, skirt? No, hold up.
I can use it.
Ugh. Then I know what
I
it
don't.
is, wink. Ahaha. Okay. Anyways, this episode of the podcast is sponsored by Serena's Party Boutique, and we will also be having two little shout outs at some point throughout this.
Nick's selling
But
out.
yeah, I'm running out of ideas, so I'm asking other people to do stuff in my videos. Oh God. However, this is something we wanted to do. We planned on doing having one-on-one episodes. It would either be me and somebody else. I may not be even hosting that episode sometimes. Um, just having two people chilling, talking, having a good time. And since Alexis and I are best friends, what better way to start off the
Exactly. Oh my god, I want
one-on-one
Brian and I to
episodes?
do one. Oh,
That was the
Brian and
plan.
I should do
That was the plan.
one.
Um, it would be all the hosts first, and then we'd try and go into people who've already been in episodes. But that's just quarantine stuff. This is just quarantine. Now we'll call this episode Quarantine Quarreling.
Stop.
Okay. Um, Honestly though, how have you been holding up throughout quarantine?
Oh, it's been interesting. I've
I
just
bet.
been binge watching shows because I have nothing else to do. Finally got reunited with some makeup, and of course I've struck the gold mine of inspiration and then had no motivation to post any of them, so it's all for nothing, but who cares? Other than that, crying mostly.
Nice, nice. I've just been vibing. I've honestly I spend my morning playing a certain amount of a video game, sparking some ideas, write them down if I like them, um, and then eat breakfast, come back upstairs, rinse and repeat, eat lunch, come back upstairs, collect
Rinse
myself.
and
What have I done?
repeat.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah.
But I come back upstairs to my room, I just take a look at what I've done for the day. If I'm satisfied, I smile. If I'm not satisfied, I cry and then go to bed.
So we've both been crying over quarantine.
I mean, not probably not as much as you have been,
Oh,
but
yeah, definitely not as much as me.
yeah, but definitely, it's definitely there. Um,
Yeah. I just found out we might not even get to do our musical over the summer at all. We might just be recording it, which I'm fine with, except for my costume, which consists mostly of leather, spandex, and, well, not like really spandex, but, you know, and then a glue on beard. Things that will not survive the heat. Things I will need to take off during certain scenes I'm not in, and I'll be going through a lot of adhesive. Sweat my beard off
you'll
on
just be
stage.
melting. You'll literally be melting on stage.
I got lucky because I have one of the best costumes in the show. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but like I feel like everyone in the club, you know, knows that. But I also have the hottest in both sense of the terms.
Mm.
It's ooh.
Um, but now that we know how quarantine has gone, I think let's bring up something that is very, very controversial in many aspects, to fire us up for this episode. That one thing is cancel culture.
Something
Um,
I'm very passionate about.
for those of you that don't know the true definition of cancel culture, it's basically when someone or something does something wrong, like morally wrong, just
Quote
wrong.
unquote wrong sometimes.
Yes, sometimes it's not truly that wrong, but people essentially turn on that person and fire all these different things at them to dehumanize not only what they did, but the person themselves. And there have been many instances where the person who is quote unquote canceled deserved it, and there are
And
some
then
times
many
where the
more where it's
person
stupid.
it's stupid, the reasoning's stupid, or the person didn't deserve it, or the one thing they did wrong was something they did ages ago that they've already apologized for. But people, it's all for clout. People bring that stuff back for clout. Let's be real.
Literally.
Um, but I have some things that I wanted to talk about. Alexis is really popping off with this, so I'm gonna
If
let
you
you
thought I
start.
had my opinions in other episodes, then ooh. I listen, I'll start off with something that like was actually very controversial when it
Hmm.
happened, and then I'll go into more of the stupid instances. But one of the ones that was very interesting to see play out, and it was while I was also a fan of her, and I still do like her first album, her second not so much, but the whole Melanie Martinez scandal, where there were, do you know about that?
Vaguely.
Okay, so to sum it up, um, basically there were allegations about her where she and her best friend, apparently she came on very strongly to her, and it was
Hmm.
very interesting because people originally canceled her, and then fans of hers came together. It started off by like a bunch of people like burning her albums and stuff, burning her merch, like because obviously people are so quickly to jump to conclusions, and it is a very serious accusation, so that it's more understandable in that case. But it just gets weirder and weirder as the whole situation goes on. Which, first of all, you already spent your money on all that stuff, so like that really doesn't do anything. She already got your money. Who cares? But as time went on, fans of hers got together and started picking apart evidence to prove the accusations false. So it started off with Melanie getting canceled. And then because all that new quote unquote evidence was coming out in favor of Melanie, they canceled the person who accused her. So now, and that's still a thing that goes on. This happened in like 2016, 2017.
Mm.
Melanie left music, and obviously she came back last year. She's obviously not really canceled anymore, but the person who accused her, she had just started her music career too, and now
Mm.
she doesn't have one. People also originally thought that it was her accusing Melanie for clout because they noticed on her Twitter the first pinned tweet was one of her songs, which is such a stupid idea. If you just started a music career, obviously you're going to do anything to promote it.
Right.
But that I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to do that.
Right. I think
So,
that's taking it like a whole nother direction because it's like,
yeah.
yes, I understand that you're doing it for clout, but like it's not even just that. Like you're now ruining this person's livelihood
Yeah.
for it. So you did
So,
this to yourself.
obviously I don't think she did it to promote her music career. I think it could have been a serious accusation, but I don't think anything ever went to court out of it. So honestly, who will ever know? And it obviously his was a lot worse, but in a way, it reminds me of Michael Jackson in some senses, where like nobody really knows, but like everybody kind of knows.
Yeah.
But obviously, Melanie's back. She just had her second album that blew up. Um, but like I said,
She
the
thriving.
person who accused her has no career anymore, and
Mm.
I I don't get it. I genuinely do not.
Yeah, I
just
think
because
that's
some
just
amateur sleuths online saw that a timeline didn't match up because they went through her Instagram for evidence. They, because the person who accused her, her name's Timothy, because I'm too lazy to say the person who accused her every single time. Timothy gave a specific date of when this allegedly happened. I'm saying allegedly because it was never officially proven, but I don't want to say that she made it up. But she gave a specific date for when it happened, and this was years before she eventually came out, which is fine. But she gave a specific date, so they went through Melanie's Instagram and found a picture from that day saying she was in a different state. But here's the thing that doesn't make
wow.
sense: pictures can be posted at a later date. I know for a lot of my Instagram pictures, I don't post them the same day they're taken. I will post stuff from,
Mm,
like, if I do a specific makeup look, I'll post it like a week, a month, however long after that I feel like posting it. So it doesn't make sense. I
mm.
I feel very strongly about this stuff. I'm sorry, so you're gonna hear me rambling, going off. Ooh,
No, 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 you're fine.
ooh, thank you for
Um,
picking me for this topic.
I
I
knew
needed a good
you,
vent sesh.
yeah. Something specifically that I wanted to bring up, and I guess this was your first time hearing about it when I told you earlier, was the what's his real name? I don't think there was I think it's Carson King was the name. That's all I'm seeing on like this website. Yeah. Um, so he was this guy who on an ESPN broadcast held up a sign saying Bush Light supply needs replenished and put his Venmo username. Um, was it during a football game or something? It's during an ESPN broadcast. So I'm gonna assume it's something sports related. Um, and he raised over $1 million, and I think now the goal has gotten to 3 million. Um, and yeah, college football fan, and people saw it and they donated all this money. He raised over $1 million, and he said, "Thanks, guys. I got my beer. Um, I'm not gonna keep the rest of this money. I'm just gonna um, give this to charity." He gave it to a hospital, I think, and a
I
lot
will
of
say
people,
that is a power play.
yeah. But he was recognized by, was it Budweiser? And I think they either sponsored him or had him as like they did something to help him. I don't exactly know what it is. I think it was like some kind of sponsorship or like inclusion in a commercial. Um, and this guy, a reporter, went into his Twitter and found something stupid that he said in 2011 and then
How stupid are we
reposted that.
talking?
Like I wonder what.
Like offensive joke stupid or like blatantly racist stupid?
I think it's a racist. I think it's like a racist tweet thing that he said, but um, again, this is 20. Like I think it was meant for like comedic purposes. I don't think it was his real belief.
Yeah.
Let me actually see what is there because um, yeah, a routine background check of King's social media revealed two racist jokes, one comparing black mothers to gorillas and another making light of
Oh,
black people killed in the Holocaust. The joke tweets date back 2012, okay, when King was a 16-year-old high school student. Um,
wow. 16. That sheds some
and
light.
but um, the editor ended up making a statement about it. Um, and King, like I think he must have said something after. When I discovered the racist tweets published by King in high school, I went to him and got a statement from him before including them at the end of an overwhelmingly positive profile that briefly addresses and contextualizes these tweets. Um, and Calvin said, I received many threats, some requesting I kill myself and others threatening to do the jobs themselves. My former coworkers at the register also received many death threats, along with a tide of unearned anger. I'd like to state that my former editors, although apologetic, approved of and were involved in the entire process of addressing King's social media history. Um, and then he said, many of them are inappropriate, and I wouldn't have published them today, though I contend that most were simply unfortunate, removed from context, or the result of an attempt at ironic humor, and by no means a meaningful reflection of my values. And because of this whole situation, um, he he also said, I'm embarrassed and stunned to reflect on what I thought was funny when I was 16. I want to sincerely apologize. But that whole situation, Budweiser turned on him. He lost whatever he got from Budweiser. He
Oh,
lost, I think he lost, like, of course, like the support of the people that donated to him, charged him back, I think. Um, which I think you don't charge him back if you know where it's going. Like, you know he's doing something good with the money,
yeah.
you know.
Like
Um,
it obviously, like I said, that's a power play. That's such a good thing. But
yeah.
and especially the gorilla tweet, yeah, that's a little far.
It's
But
far, but again, it's something
another
he said
thing
when he was
is
young.
he was 16.
Yeah,
That's I feel like there's an age limit where things are more, I don't want to say acceptable, but for lack of a better word, acceptable,
right,
because your brain isn't developed until much later in life. You are 16, you are impressionable, and you have access to Twitter, which should not be a thing. But in, like I said, it shouldn't be acceptable. But I feel like there should be a little bit of slack because obviously 16-year-olds are stupid, very
right.
stupid. You have time to learn and grow. That's obviously you could change that. And most of my cancel culture knowledge comes from beauty gurus because that's like my area of expertise, I guess. We'll touch on that later. But
Hmm.
and a lot of the beauty guru stuff happens when they're younger. So all that stuff's stupid. But it's for charity. You had to go and ruin a charity event, a charity fundraiser thing. It's stupid. But
But I
it
think
also, yeah.
it did after this was solved. It did come back up, and now he's raised over $3 million. So
So canceled and then uncanceled, kinda.
until he made his statement, until he made if he had he not made
Yeah,
the statement on it, then it would not have changed anything.
yeah. But kind of to piggyback off of that to explain the other side of it, how it, to an extent, it's not acceptable. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but I, and we're gonna go to the most, you know, informative platform that there is, TikTok. Um, Obviously, if you don't know, bunch of people on the app have been called out for using the N word when they are, in fact, not black. Um, One person in particular recently just called out, as in, like, the last week, got called out for using it, even though her entire account is basically fighting for justice and, spreading awareness that white people, anyone who isn't black, can't say the N word. So a video came out, or a bunch of videos rather, of her saying it. One of them dated back to late 2019, and she used the excuse that she was young and stupid and that she's grown since then. I don't doubt that she has, but her account and her, fighting for people to not say it has been there since 2018. So that doesn't really make sense. That's where the line is drawn and where you can actually, say that the person's just stupid and just blatantly doesn't care. That is when somebody actually deserves to get canceled, in my opinion.
Um, Another thing very similar to this whole situation, though, was um, the Kevin Hart Oscars incident. If y'all don't know, he was
Oh
Kevin
yeah.
Hart. Yeah, he was supposed to host the Oscars last year, 2019. Um, but a lot of people started reopening, I guess, the wounds. I don't know how else to put it. Like they brought back some things he said in a comedy show. Um, it's in the 2010 comedy special Seriously Funny. Hart told audiences his biggest fear was his son coming out as gay. Hart said that
Ooh.
he said, as a heterosexual male, if I can prevent my son from being gay, I will. He addressed the joke in the 2015 Rolling Stone interview. Jesus, um, Rolling Stone interview where he did not apologize, and said that he wouldn't make the same joke again because the times weren't as sensitive. Oh, sorry, he didn't apologize at the time because it wasn't as sensitive at the time. But now that people are like looking back on it, they're bringing it back because of that. So he pulled out of hosting the Oscars um, because of that situation. Now, mind you, at the time that that comedy show was released, and at the time of when he was supposed to host the Oscars, that was 9 years. And he even said so
Yeah.
himself. He even said so himself. Let me, if my computer wants to scroll down. He said, "Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you don't believe that people change, grow, evolve as people get older, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to hold people in a position where they always have to justify or explain their past, then do you. I'm the wrong guy." And I understand what he's saying, and I kind of agree. It's like if I said something stupid a long time ago, of course I'm going to reflect on it and realize that it's something stupid that I said, but
Yeah.
I don't have to go to you on like a live thing and explain that this is not my true belief. It, and that's the thing too, is comedy's edgy, you know? The whole
Yeah.
thing, like comedy's meant to be edgy. Unless somebody tells you that it's their belief, most of the time it's just a joke that somebody made up to make people laugh. The whole point, if you're going to see a comedy show and get offended by something somebody said, have a reason to be offended. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is something, and like he said, it wasn't as sensitive at the time. And I'm not at all, I'm not saying it's going to make me or break me or make him and break him. It's simply just comedy. It's meant to be funny. I laughed at it the first time I heard it because it's just a generally funny thing the way he says it. It's
Yeah.
not that I agree with him. It's funny.
The joke itself definitely isn't as bad as some other ones. And that does remind me of another thing I want to touch upon after this. But I'd
Hmm.
like to imagine, obviously, it's the joke didn't age well. And I'd like to imagine he meant it as, having his son avoid the hardships of coming in, because obviously people aren't going to be as open minded all the time. But
Yeah,
he was a full grown man when he did it. So he can't, obviously he can't use the excuse that he was young, but people obviously learn better taste as time goes on. And it was 9 years ago, not like, last week when he made it.
right.
So once again, there is a little leeway, and it cancel culture by no
Yeah,
means is a black and white situation. People pick and choose who, what, and when they want to cancel things. And then they take it back, cancel them again. It's
yeah,
You cannot argue and say that it is black and white. Obviously, some people will cancel people if they do the slightest wrong thing, and then some people will pick and choose. For some people, it is, but in general, it absolutely is not black and white. And if it does remind me of, obviously, Louis C.K. has like no career now because of um allegation, like sexual assault allegations, stuff
yeah,
like that. But it does remind me of a certain joke he made,
yeah. I know
and it
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
And the whole
So
thing is that,
okay, just don't let me finish then. You're
okay,
canceled.
continue. Oh,
But he made um a certain joke about a very sensitive topic, and of course it was a rape joke, which are not in good taste ever. But it the way he said it, and I don't even really see it, and I'm a very like edgy person. I do love offensive jokes, but I didn't even really see it in good taste. I like am I gonna get offended over it? No, I don't get offended over a lot of stuff. It's very hard to offend me, but I don't think it was a good joke. But a lot of people in the club, laughed at it. So the way he said it definitely wasn't meant to be offensive. It was just supposed to be an edgy joke.
Hmm.
And then Daniel Tosh from Tosh.0, he made a rape joke. Somebody, he got like no laughs, like one or two, but that's it. Basically, like the entire Pete David Netflix special. But um, one
A
person booed
lot.
him. Pete Davidson, sorry, same person. But no, that entire comedy special was so bad. Oh my god. But um, one person booed him, and I can't remember what the joke was exactly, but I don't even think the joke itself was. It
Yeah,
was
the
a little
joke
more
wasn't
offensive
good.
than
It was
it was.
something about,
It was yeah. I think it was a little more offensive than Louis C.K.'s, but I don't think it was
yeah.
intended to be offensive. But somebody booed him, and of course it was a woman, because
And the way he
yeah,
responded, that was
the way he
terrible.
responded was, "Oh, somebody was raped."
Yeah, it says that sounds like something somebody was raped, who was raped would say.
That's
And that's not, you don't joke
and
about that.
he obviously he wouldn't have said it if it was a man, and
Hmm.
that's obviously a big stereotype. We all know that it does happen to men too, but that's he definitely seems like the person who doesn't believe that. So of course he would say that. But
Yeah.
I
And it's like, and Louis C.K., even when he made that joke, he said that he doesn't condone rape or anything like that. That's the whole preface to the joke. He said that so that he doesn't get
yeah,
canceled. I
like
mean,
I said,
mind
I
you,
don't get offended over
now, but
much, and I love edgy jokes. But even I didn't really find the joke of like in good taste. Like obviously I wasn't offended by it, but like I that's definitely something you shouldn't joke about, and I don't even joke about. But like,
yeah.
at, you can tell there was no malicious intent behind it. Whereas David Tosh, Daniel Tosh, sorry,
You're out of
he
it.
he just I'm
He just blatantly made that joke.
no, because now I'm mad thinking about that response because I didn't think of it until you brought up the Kevin Hart thing, and that response gets me every time because obviously people are stupid, but the fact that someone's that stupid,
Yeah.
I ooh wow
um,
wow.
what else is there? Another thing. Oh my God. I don't want to see. I'm not actually won't. I won't talk about that
Oh no, talk about it. Talk
because
about it.
I don't know. Reopen wounds. Some people still haven't like gotten over it. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh
Um,
no, talk about it.
so when Kobe Bryant unfortunately passed away,
Boo, you're canceled.
of course. Oh my God. It
Too
was it
soon.
was of course met with a lot of sadness and to honor his legacy, I think they had a documentary or something like interview with I forget who. Let me see if I can find it. Um, Gail.
I will admit though, the
Kobe.
whole Kobe Bryant situation, obviously, him and his daughter Gianna were the two most famous people on that flight. It obviously people are going to mourn loss of a celebrity more than they mourn people they don't know. But
Mm,
the fact that nobody talks about the seven other people who died, and I'm pretty sure most of them, if not all of them, were from the same family or like the same circle.
it was a family friend.
Yeah,
So yeah, so it
nobody
was
talks about those seven other people who died on that plane. And obviously, I'm not offended by it. I'm not going to cancel anybody for it. But it deserves to be spoken about. I'll hear it once in a while where they're like, seven other people died. But please at least give some recognition because it's stupid. You act like they were the only two on that flight. And obviously, like I said, it is sad, but you should at least make light and acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
yeah. So okay, so she was
And I
in
can't
an
wait for people to
interview.
cancel me once this gets posted because I'm being mean when I'm really just being brutally honest. You can't, like I said, obviously people are going to mourn a celebrity more than people don't know, but please at least make light of it. some other people
Yeah.
also lost family members. Ugh.
But so Gayle King interviewed Lisa Leslie, who is a longtime friend of Kobe Bryant, and it was a full interview. Like it was going around just talking about the memories that she had with him, and the person who I guess edited together a preview for it took the bit of them talking about his rape allegations from 2003, and that of course was taken uncontextually. Um, so people were looking at it as this is a full interview simply about this one issue. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing was Snoop Dogg going out, and of course I'm not going to say what he said because he went off.
Oh,
Um, but he said some, pretty insensitive things in response to Gayle, and I personally feel like, when you're caught in a situation like that, it's not like you're realizing that you're being threatened for somebody else's wrongdoing. At that point, I think the
yeah.
post was taken down, but whoever edited that, I hope they got fired because that's just like you have
Yeah.
this whole blurb tomorrow interview with Lisa Leslie about um, uh, honoring Kobe Bryant's legacy, um, and then that's the video you attach with it. You
Yeah.
know,
Like, I will
that's
admit, even though his passing was tragic, you can't forget allegations like that. But on the other hand, when you're doing a tribute service to him or anything like that, that's not the time.
yeah.
And it just happened. There's a time and a place to address things like that because it is serious and it shouldn't be forgotten. But the man and his daughter did just die. His family, his wife is, going insane right now. Everything's happening at once. Now is not the time to also stack that on top of her. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going
And like,
to talk about one more thing that you and I can
wait,
really
wait, wait, wait,
relate
wait,
to.
wait, 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 wait,
Oh,
wait, wait.
shoot. Continue, continue, continue,
I
continue.
had to write stuff down because that it reminded me of a
Oh,
lot of stuff. So, and another thing, I've already brought him up once. Michael Jackson, probably one of the most controversial figures now because of everything. And like I said, technically, nothing was ever concrete and proven, but like everybody kind of knows. Um, Obviously, after he died, everybody still talked about it, but not right after. Obviously, there's documentaries out now, but like just to go along with it, and because I feel like after he died, like right after at least, people didn't talk about that. They waited until time had passed. People had gotten to mourn him. It all had blown over in a sense. Then they did it. That's how it should be handled.
mm-hmm.
And also another thing, and I do have another person I want to talk about, but it doesn't relate to this. I'm just putting that out there. But I also believe that you can separate art from artists, and that is also kind of not controversial, but like an unpopular opinion, I guess, because a lot of people, and this goes back to it being a big gray area, a lot of people think that they can because then that's all that it reminds them of. So like obviously people still listen to Michael Jackson. He's such a legend in the music industry. Despite everything that happened, people still listen to him. But then there are people who argue that they don't listen to people like Chris Brown because of what happened with Rihanna.
Yeah.
In my opinion, one of those things is a lot worse. And it's
Yeah.
the thing with Michael Jackson, but people still listen to him because it involved multiple people. Obviously, I'm not condoning Chris Brown. Oh, and he even just had what 2018 or 2019 allegations about him and a woman in Paris. where he like
Yeah.
attacked her. I
It's a whole
I don't
like
get it.
yeah, it's a whole thing. Like I still listen to him not like and it's the same thing. It's like if something that somebody did is good, you're not supporting what they did. You're just listening to a song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but I do. I mean, I understand like you don't want anything to do with this person. Personally, it's not like I'm going to stop listening to this person. The song sounds good. I'm going to listen to it. It doesn't matter who did it. I can listen to a cover of it, and just because they
Yeah.
did a cover on that song doesn't mean they like the person's like whole life. You
Yeah.
know?
Like there are some
Um,
things people can make changes on. Like obviously if we all join together, we can like, fight to at least I don't know where I'm going with this. Like one person can make a change in certain things, like
mhm.
climate issues. We all know that. That's when like you helping out does matter. Just because you stop listening to one person because of something they did, it's not gonna ruin their lives.
Chain, yeah. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
bazillionaires. It's not gonna stop.
I wish I
And
could be a bazillionaire.
me too. And I know, um, are you done with the Michael Jackson thing? I am.
Yeah, no, I am. I just wanted
Okay.
to. I have.
Before,
You gonna
because
you
I
gonna say
know
one
who we
more
want to
thing?
talk about next, and I'll make this one
Oh
quick
no, no, no,
because
it's not. You don't know what I'm going to talk about next.
oh
Yeah, you'd be surprised what I'm
oh
going to talk about next.
oh I can't wait to hear this. But and I'll make this one quick. But another person who's been in a lot of heat is Shane Dawson. He's been canceled many times, uncanceled, canceled again, then uncanceled. And he has done some great stuff. He really has. Like he's donated to things, he's helped people out in hard times. But there was the infamous cat rumor, which he was canceled for a bit. And I won't go into details because it is nasty. But his apology was just very blunt. He said he didn't do anything to his cat. That was over in a heartbeat. And people cancel him for that, which is very stupid because I don't think anyone ever would. And it was because of a previous joke he had made on a podcast like 3 years before. Not an offensive joke, just a very edgy one. A little disturbing, I will admit. And I'm
Mm.
also a big Shane Dawson fan. But there was also a baby rumor where I think like the year before, because the cat rumor was last year. The year before, people thought he was a pedophile because in 2007, I think, he made a joke and said a baby was sexy. Once again, not really offensive, just, edgy and a little disturbing.
Odd.
So, of course, people took that one clip out where immediately after, in the original video that it was posted on, he immediately said that it was just a joke and obviously he doesn't condone that. They took out just that one clip of him making the joke, and it was an 11-year-old girl who made the clip, who made the edited clip, and it turned in this big media frenzy. People thought, he likes little kids.
Oh my
Um,
God, I can't say.
so he
I'm
had
11,
to,
so shut the heck up.
so, so of course he had to shut that down real quick. But he got canceled for a bit after that. Like I think he left social media, not for a long time, obviously, but like for a little bit, like took a break after he made his statements. But a big one, which I don't understand in a sense, and it's because he did do this when he was a full adult human. So obviously he does know better, but he's done blackface a few times and he has said the N word in a video, which obviously I don't support,
Mm.
but it was also, I think, 2013, 2014. So he has, like I said, he was a human. I mean, he was a full grown human. So he should have known better.
Yeah.
And of course, he apologized for it. But, and I still do hold that against him. And it's not my thing to accept his apology for. Because obviously, I'll never know the troubles. I'll never know the full extent of how much it can hurt someone because, of course, I am very Caucasian. Um, but that stuff, you can't forget that, and I feel like he should. Obviously, he did apologize many, many times, but he still should be held accountable for that. And a lot of people just forget it, like, completely. And like I said, I do love him, but like, and obviously he has changed and he's done so many great things. But he never really got canceled for that. But he got canceled for the cat rumor, the baby rumor. I don't get it.
Yeah. Um, I
People
have something
really
that I
do pick and
wanna.
choose.
Oh, Mobby. Um,
That was it. Just people
oh,
really pick and
so
choose.
yeah. So the thing I have to say next, I'm gonna hold it off for a second to just talk about the fact that this episode of the Coffee House
Oh my
podcast
god.
is sponsored by Serena's Party Boutique. Um, Serena's Party Boutique specializes in custom-made party decorations, party favors, and centerpieces. Whether you're planning a birthday party, baby shower, or anything in between, we are confident we can help make your occasion special. Our handmade party decorations will reflect your unique and personal style. Our collections range from fun and simple to elegant and extravagant. Choose from our collections or let us custom make something for your special event. We pride ourselves in customer service and are here to work with you each step of the way as we plan your special event. Don't see what you're looking for? Contact us and we will do our best to bring your vision to life. And not only that, I also just realized that they have a shop option on their website where you can actually like look at the prices of things, and it all just looks really pretty. And I really think that if you guys don't buy any of this in the next 5 minutes, that you will be canceled. So,
You got me
um,
excited for what you were going to say and you hit me with that.
I hit you with that. Yeah. Honestly, though, okay, I'm just gonna make this clear to y'all that yes, Serena's Party Boutique is my mother's business, hence the sponsorship. But I'm doing this because I really want this to take off for her. And y'all need to go buy stuff. I don't care if it's your birthday or not.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself. She has many different invitation cards, banners, little door signs. What else? Let's
Obviously, I
see.
may be a bit biased, but I do love her business.
Yeah, it's like tons of different things with many different themes. And I think you can get something personalized as well. So like if there's something on this website like that isn't really offered, um then you can request something else for it to be decorated. So like right now it's a lot of like princess like Disney princess stuff, and like Winnie the Pooh is one of the options there. But like if you want one that's not featured, you can ask for it and it can be done. She also does things like little candy strips, puts little M&Ms in a little strip, and you can put them in little gift baggies, um, little cake toppers and whatnot. Just all these different things that are offered. That if it's your birthday, or if you have a kid who, if it in theirs, it's their birthday,
Take your
or if
time.
it's somebody on your street, the friggin' the skunk that comes under your fence every day, like throw a party, bro.
Throw a party.
Throw a party, homie. Um, but that's my spiel on that. Now, Alexis.
Oh wait, I just remembered two big points I wanted to point out when they happened. This is going back to two different things. One, the Kevin Hart thing. You could tell there was remorse because he himself pulled out of the Oscars. He didn't get fired. So that obviously still can't erase what he said, but it does show that he showed remorse. Another thing, back to the TikToker thing. After that girl got called out, and there's a bunch of other creators on the app have yet to apologize for saying the N word multiple times or certain slurs towards the LGBTQ community. But a lot of people, and like, I would see it all the time from a bunch of people I followed at the time, but they came out before they even got canceled and said, I have said the N word in the past when I was like 12 and didn't know what it meant. I apologize, and came out with a sincere apology.
Mm,
So, oh, and also one more thing.
you're fine.
There was a whole cosplayer situation And I happen to follow everybody involved because I love stuff like that, where it's like very creative with makeup and stuff. And that the people involved have to be two people who I got inspiration for looks from. So it does suck. And I did end up unfollowing all of them. But, there was some very, actually big scandals that involved multiple women, multiple underage transgender men, where they would make very uncomfortable advances towards them, stuff like that. And they got canceled per se, but they still also got a lot of clout from it, which doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. And it was from people who kept saying that they thought they were canceled, but still showed them support, like their videos, stuff like that. And the girl who accused both of them of doing these things also got some hate because it was never she didn't have any proof. It was just
Mm.
firsthand accounts, which obviously you shouldn't discredit those. But as much as I hate to say it, you can't always prove stuff from that. But it doesn't make sense how people more so actually canceled her than the two people accused of it. And in both of their cases, they even admitted to doing some stuff. Like, obviously, they admitted to doing, the stuff that was less bad, but they canceled the girl who accused them after they even admitted to it, or then they canceled the two people who actually did the bad things, and it doesn't make sense. Oh,
Mm. So, Alexis,
is this the
this
big
is
one
going to
now?
be something. I mean, you're going to be surprised that there was a bit of cancellation in this.
Oh, so it isn't the big
So,
one. It
at
isn't the
our
one I'm excited
schools,
for.
at our schools, for those of you who are listening, there was a school spirit event around Valentine's Day for Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
And there was all I'm not even canceling what you think I'm canceling too. There was this whole backlash on who won and who didn't win. We'll talk about that later.
my school.
But in the end, her school won, but we won before, and then bot issues. It's whatever. Um,
No, explain the
so,
situation real quick so they know that your school cheated. But
oh my God. So the situation started off where we were winning, and then her school was a close second. Like, I mean, they were 100 likes apart. It was okay. They were posts for each school in our district or in our area,
to win free
and
chicken sandwiches from a restaurant.
yes, and whoever got the most like posts would get the chicken sandwiches. And so
And our good.
our school was like 100 likes ahead of them, exactly 100. And you can still hear me, right? You kind of cut out for a second. Hello. Did I get cut out?
Sorry,
I
I got a face people a
okay,
group
you're
chat
good.
just FaceTimed me, and
Oh,
they're gonna FaceTime me 5 more times because they love to keep like I don't know if you know exactly how FaceTimes work since you don't have an iPhone, but that sounds shadier than it intended to be. But they start a FaceTime, and then if it's a group call, you can specifically call certain people to join the call, and they always call me about 5 times, like specifically to join the call, and I'm gonna get it about 5 more times. So if I cut out randomly, I apologize because they do this
you're fine.
every day.
So basically, our school was 100 ahead of her school, and we kept going, and they were still close second. Then these two other schools, I don't know which ones, but that's
Prince Edward.
irrelevant. Yeah, so they started using bots to boost their like count, and they surpassed us, and they surpassed her school. So in return, we
A school that
used
had
bots.
300 students somehow got 1,000 likes.
Yeah, then they had 2,000, and then we beat them because we started using bots to fire back. Then they deleted those posts, and we're like, we're going to try this again. Everyone, please be honest. So we did it. We were in first place. I think at that point, you guys were 20 behind us.
It was very close. And
It
then
was
a bunch of
super
other
close.
schools started buying likes,
Yeah,
so they
so then
canceled
they
it
bought
again.
likes. Well, no, so they bought likes, and in return we bought likes, and in return you bought likes, and then
Whittier
that
didn't
whole
buy likes.
scandal. You didn't? There
No.
was some other school besides those three that bought likes, and I think
The
surpassed
second time
somebody.
a bunch of schools bought likes because they were like, oh,
Yeah, we can do this too. So then they did it off of stories, and we just gave up. Everyone gave up except her school for because they wanted them chicken sammies. We
we
still
did.
got them. We
We
still
had
got
signs
them
up in the
for
bathroom to go like the
yeah,
Chick-fil-A posts.
yeah. You guys won for the likes for like the posts. We won for I think it was like school creativity because they had like our principal make an announcement over the intercom.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you guys were the only. They picked 5 winners,
Yeah.
and
Well,
my
no,
school was
we were
first.
second on that and then the creativity. You guys were first on the likes, we were second.
Yeah.
Um,
So my school won with likes. Then their school, his school, was a close second, and there were 3 other schools that got picked. The only schools to get, and they originally handed out cards to claim your free chicken Sammy.
I still have
The
mine.
his school and one other school were the only ones that got their cards before Corona hit. So we don't even get our chicken Sammys. And
No, they're sending your principal digital codes and they're going to email them out from your school email.
bro, they better. I want my chicken Sammy. But
It's a
and
QR code.
another thing that sucked was they also originally were just like, bring your school IDs on this certain day at this very specific time to collect your chicken sandwich. This is the only time you can do it. And Whittier's was supposed to be March 16th, which is right before Corona hit. But on that day, it was Tech Week for our musical, where we didn't get out until 7. And the time was from 3 to 6.
Wow.
I, mm.
That's terrible.
And like a bunch of
Um,
people at Whittier, because we have co op, a bunch of people wouldn't even be able to get out until 6 because a bunch of their co op jobs go until 6.
yeah. But
So
the
they
real
literally were just like, Whittier's not
cancellation,
getting anything.
that's not even what I'm talking about when it comes to being canceled.
No.
There were plenty of people in Haverhill High and like other schools who were going out on their Instagram stories saying, "Guys, don't like the Chick-fil-A post. They support anti it was either homophobic or anti-Semitic like
It was both.
organizations or something. It was both. So
Yeah,
they
they
support
alleged,
that
yeah.
whatever." And they said all this crap about it and it's like I totally understand your issues with that. I have issues with that
That's
too.
been a thing for a while, though.
Right. But you, by liking this post and getting a free sandwich, you are not financially supporting this organization. So
You're
you're not
getting
helping
something
them
for
reach this goal.
free.
You're getting something for free that they are giving
I,
to you. You're not financially supporting them. I can understand if it was like $1 for like to do
like
something for it,
like
then I get it. But
you're allowed to not want to support something that supports something like that, especially if it's something that you're a part of. Like obviously if you're in the LGBTQ community, you're probably not going to want to support a business that allegedly funds businesses like that and organizations that go against it. That's completely understandable. That is your own personal belief.
mhm.
If you do not want to contribute, that's fine. But it's something for free. Just
It's something for
like the
free, but it's
post so you can
also
get a chicken Sammy.
it's a
Oh,
also a school spirit thing. So if you show schools, it's for school spirit. So if you go to a high school and you want to show school spirit, you like the post. It's not gonna make or break Chick-fil-A.
also, last time I checked, likes don't really generate that much cash unless you're like an
Yeah.
influencer. But most restaurants don't get money from likes. They just
No, they don't. They don't get social
they
media
get
money. I think
awareness, but
the only
that's
ones
it.
that do are like probably like Gordon Ramsay's or something. God knows.
Yeah,
Um,
because that's Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is a celebrity,
yeah.
unless it's actual sponsored content, which technically it is. But I don't think they're making from something that gives
Mm,
away free things. They're getting awareness, and that's it. Chick-fil-A gained so many followers. Chick-fil-A, that specific Chick-fil-A gained so many followers on Instagram.
yeah.
Like it's insane because I went back to some of their posts and some of their posts had less than 100 likes, and then there's everything after they announced the contest had like 300, 400, 500 likes. Like they gained like 3,000. from that
Yeah,
one contest.
I didn't even know there was a Chick-fil-A in Methuen until they did that.
Neither did
um,
I.
so there's one more thing that I want, or two more things that I want to shout out before we continue on, Alexis, if that's all
Oh
right
my
with you.
god, I just want to get to the Big Daddy issue.
Exactly, so
Ugh.
we end the episode off with that.
Because that's something I'm very passionate because it does relate to me technically. But
So
ugh,
you gotta wait,
just
you
continue.
gotta
Just continue.
end that episode. So
Oh,
this is something else. This isn't necessarily a sponsor, but a friend of mine from my school, Gabriela Vargas, back I think it was in September, yes, wrote or published a poetry book called The Rhymes of My Times, and she wrote it, and there were pictures in it that were illustrated by Crystal Rampersad. I hope I did not butcher that.
you
Um,
butchered it. You're canceled
oh, I'm canceled. However,
again.
with The Rhymes of My Times, Gabriela Vargas presents a concoction of love, pain, angst, racism, life changes, social justice, equality, and lessons learned, as seen
Did
through
I
the
hear
eyes of a
racism?
15
Canceled.
um, as seen through the eyes of a 15-year-old high school student, although I think she's 17 now, in this trying 21st century. This candid and vociferous collection, excuse my English, generously illustrated by Crystal Rampersad, represents
Take your time, sweetie.
Gabriella's life understandings as she boldly opens herself up to the reader without a shield to share her truths regarding the difficulties experienced by today's adolescents. Now, this is very, very powerful. I've read the book. It's very, very sweet, um, and it's very, very powerful in the sense that it doesn't hold anything back. Like I mean, these poems, there is swearing in them. There
Oh,
is suggestive like themes that are meant to be relatable to some people. Um,
meant to provoke in the best way possible, essentially, right?
yeah, I guess. I mean, it's like I've listened to her like even read some of them at like little coffee houses, and you know, she doesn't hold anything back. It's not just her reading it, it's her telling a story, and that's what I really like just about poetry in general. But the way she does it, she's very, very talented for, I guess what some people would say someone her age. But I would, you swear that if you heard the way she spoke and the way she thinks, you'd think she's so much more mature than like or older than she really is
Yeah.
because she just has that vibe. Um,
But she do be
and
vibing though.
however,
Sorry.
yeah, no, the book, in order to the ability to buy this book, I wonder how you get it, of course. Well, you can go in the description and underneath
Why
Rhymes of
did
My
you
Times, shut up. Underneath Rhymes of My Times, you'll actually be able to find the link to Amazon.com in order to get either a paperback edition of this or a Kindle version of this. It's free with Kindle Unlimited. $3 if you're using a Kindle, and $6.95 on paperback.
Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. I
Please
might have
do
to get it.
please do check it out. It's very, very nice. Um, And let's see, that's what I got from that. Oh, and also,
Please
eventually on our
stop
social
going
media,
British.
shh, eventually on our social media accounts, you'll actually see us. I will be interviewing her on the book as well. We was originally supposed to have that be one of the extra episodes, but because of Corona, we cannot. So it is going
Corona
to be
said no
Corona
interviews
said
today.
no interview.
Corona said
Um,
no pictures or autographs, please. No flash photography.
um,
Corona
but you'll
said
see it
no
on.
stage door.
Oh my god. You'll see it on our Instagram, you'll see it on our Facebook, which are also located in the description. The last thing that I want to bring up is a friend of mine, Shay Hagan, started a band, or he probably already has this band, not like just started the band, but he has a band called The Nostalgics. He told me about it, and I did bring this up on our Instagram and Facebook. Um, Brand new. You guys should be able to see their logo on the screen now. And Alexis, I'm
That is a
going
sick name,
to
though, I will admit.
um, The nostalgic. I love the name. I'm actually
I
gonna
do
put it
like it
in
a
the
lot.
coffee house chat for you to see. So you can check it out.
Chia.
Very sweet little logo. Um, and I think that's a temporary one now. I'm sure that it's gonna be one digitally made. Um,
Ooh,
so I can't wait to see
funky.
that like done. And we'll be following them as time goes on. We'll cover them as much as we can on the podcast, and on our social media, and even for a performer spotlight, which again, by the way, I'm hoping y'all are enjoying those. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's just, I wanted to shout him out as well with his little shindig. Um, Alexis,
I want to be in a band.
at,
I want to
yo,
go
you're
back to
getting back to
drums.
drums. You're getting back to drums.
I was supposed to go back to drums because I found out one of my family friends used to be a drummer, so he has a whole drum set in his basement. So like, and we already go over there often. So I was gonna try and set up a time to like go over and just rock out. And then Miss Rona said not today.
All right, but Alexis, you gotta end this episode off strong.
If you thought I was rambling before, no, I want you to start it off because I'm gonna go ham. I don't think I can start talking about it without popping off immediately.
Hold up. Now I just forgot what you wanted to talk about.
All
So now
right,
you have to say
so I hate you so much. Cancel.
it.
Anyways, like I said before, and like I said, I was gonna touch upon, um, my area of expertise is beauty gurus.
I knew what it was. I just
So
wanted you to talk about it.
yeah, I knew you knew too. You just hate me. Oh, I can't believe you're a woman hater. Oh, sexist pig.
Canceled.
Anyways, um, I am a very big James Charles fan. He's given me many and inspirations for looks and like what I want to do, and also because he is so young. That's another reason, and that'll play a bigger part too. I before I get into him specifically, I wanted he's very controversial as it is, but I think the only other person in the beauty community who can top him when it comes to being controversial is another one of my favorites, Jeffree Star, who has in the past many a times said the N-word, which is not okay
Er,
in any sense. But he was very young originally, and I think he said it a bunch when he was younger. Um, so that's not good at all. He has apologized many times, but there's also been many fake stories of him saying it, which a lot of people have canceled him for.
yeah.
And he is very vocal now about I don't know how much I know you don't know a lot about makeup, so I'll dumb this down for you specifically. Like foundation ranges, making sure that there's actually enough shades for people of color. Um, Instead of, 50 shades of white and then 3 shades for literally any darker complexion. It's 50 shades of vanilla yogurt, 2 shades of like tanned white girl, and then 1 or 2 actual shades for black people. It's ridiculous, some of the ones that come out. I I'm gonna drop a specific brand, Beauty Blender, who came out with 40 shades. There were about 30 white shades that all looked identical. Uh like 5 for tan people and then literally 5 different shades for people. It was ridiculous. Many other brands do it. He's very vocal about getting more stuff out there, and he shows that with his makeup line. He doesn't do a lot of face stuff. It's mostly eyeshadows and stuff. But with any product he has released, like with the sealers, he makes sure that there is shades for everybody. So he is inclusive now. So I'd like to say that he has changed, but he still also is very controversial, and he does say some things that are a little off. But people go back and forth on canceling him. James Charles, on the other hand, is seemingly canceled no matter what he does, and it is a little ridiculous. He has said some very questionable things, and he is still very young. So there is a little bit of leeway, even though I don't like to say that, but he's still very impressionable, still learning. Because you, even when you're 20, you obviously do not know everything. You're going to,
And you're
but
also
he has,
taking advantage of a fan base that's just now like starting to blossom, you
yeah,
know? So now it's like you have all of this, you feel like you're invisible, you know?
yeah. He also rose to fame relatively quickly. This all happened very fast. I think he started when he was like 16, and he's like 20 now. So over 4 years, like he blew up. I remember when I started following him, he only had 6 videos. That's when I really heard him. Like he became, I think, yeah, the first male cover when he was like 17. That's insane. But he had, like I said, he has made some very off the cuff tweets. He's made many jokes about Ebola. He said he wanted to be a black woman in a church, which sure, go ahead. Um it's definitely not the worst thing. People have done much worse things, but have also not gotten canceled, which doesn't make sense to me. So, but they'll cancel him for that. Like I said, it's very pick and choose. But no matter what James Charles does, people hate him for everything. There was a scandal where he was in a club singing along to the song My Type, which drops the N word about 50,000 times. But he was mouthing along to it. He posted a video of it on his Instagram story during the chorus where it says it a bunch. Um, he very clearly didn't say it, but many people wanted to cancel him because he allegedly did. Although an easy way to find out is, to look at his mouth, which was very evident he didn't, but still canceled him. People will cancel him for literally everything. If he breathes, he's canceled. He's the worst. He's racist. The next Hitler.
Well, I think the next Hitler is it's a little far. You're canceled now.
There's a bug in my room. Oh my god.
That bug is canceled.
Wait. No, wait. I just saw it.
Oh
Oh
my
my god.
god.
Sorry, I'm gonna try to compose myself. But one of my biggest issues with him being canceled is, besides the fact that it's always for a stupid reason, this might
Yeah.
be one of the stupidest reasons because he was not the first, was not the last, was not the only person to do this. Oh my god, it's moving towards me. Like, oh my, it's turning around. Nick, I'm sorry, I need to get rid of this bug.
You
Oh my
good?
god, oh my god. No, it's moving. I don't like it. Wait. Oh my god. At least now we have something lighthearted. Oh my god, get on the paper, please. Oh my god, please. I just want to flush you. Oh my god, don't disappear. God, you're gonna hear a toilet flush in a second, probably. I'm
You're
not
Gucci.
pooping. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, I need to go downstairs to do this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh my god, get in the toilet, get in the toilet, get in the toilet, please. Get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. Oh my, it's not coming off.
You good?
No, I hate bugs. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, get off. Oh, fine. I did it. It's gone. That
Ugh.
was an adventure.
Okay. I think though,
Sorry.
are you all set with your cancellation issues? So you still got to
No, I
finish.
haven't even gotten. But
I
the main point I'm trying to make, or the main one that I find stupidest, is the recent, and of course, this is going back to TikTok, the recent mugshot trend. Obviously, people would get offended because it's glorifying violence in a way, which
mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Right.
And obviously, if you don't know what it means, which it's pretty simple, you make it look like you're getting your mugshot taken. So most people, sorry, I'm like still shaking from the bug.
You're fine.
But most people will do like a bloody nose, maybe some cuts, like smeared makeup. That's what most people do. And I also recently just did it too on my Instagram. You should follow it, just saying. I got some funky stuff. Um, but people like, and I get what they're saying about it glorifying violence in a way, but it's acceptable in TV, and I don't understand that. But sure, okay. So obviously James Charles did it, but everybody was fine with it until he did it, which does not make sense. But it's because it's James Charles, and he's already very controversial, so everybody just wants to hate on him more. But then even the people who did it after him, they were fine with it. But the main point everybody says, and it's why they hate it, is it's mostly from people who have some sort of experience with domestic violence. And I get why it is triggering to them, but they say that it's always, they always try to make it out like it's a domestic violence thing and that it's, making fun of them or just not doing it in a very positive light for survivors of that, which doesn't make sense. It's always like
Actually,
bar fight stuff. That's usually what
I
most
just
people
looked
do.
at the TikTok. I just looked at the TikTok and in the comments somebody said it's literally a trend. Everyone does it, but when you do it, people get mad.
Yeah, essentially. That it's just because it's him doing it. But that's a main point everybody makes. And I get, like I said, I absolutely do get why some people get triggered by it. But it can also be avoided easily. And I am definitely not the most PC person, but we can't, it is a form of art. We shouldn't have to exactly censor it
Yeah.
for comfort. Art is about pushing boundaries. A lot of my stuff is very gory, like I have my throat open, but nobody has a problem with that. People get murdered, and people will, like, special effects artists like me will recreate stuff that happens a lot. I know one of my things I did on you was I slit your throat
Yep.
and put a bullet in your head.
Well, the bullet wasn't that great.
Yeah, shut up. It was, it would have looked better if the color matched, but I am very Caucasian and you are Spanish, so I didn't
Uh-huh.
exactly have the equipment. But
Let's see.
it doesn't make sense to me how that's more acceptable than like makeup that resembles a bar fight and getting
Yeah.
arrested. And it shows like Supernatural, which showcase that stuff all the time. It's acceptable in those cases. But on a lighthearted trend where it's just people doing makeup And a lot of them do have trigger warnings or just for people who are easily squeamish, like fake blood warnings. A lot of them have it. I know James Charles had it on some of his stuff. It doesn't make sense to me why people all of a sudden have a problem with it. And like I said, if for people who actually have been through that, there's ways to avoid it. Obviously, maybe once in a while something might be unavoidable and you might see one by accident. But overall, it is avoidable. And to me, it's just so stupid. And like I said, a lot of people don't get hate for it. Like a bunch of James Charles has a show now, Instant Influencer, where he brings on 6 people who actually do have channels and stuff. They have platforms. They've done looks like that too. Nobody hated them for it. Other big influencers have done it. They don't get hate. James Charles will do it, and he does. Or, like, anytime James Charles donates to something, people get mad because it's not enough in their eyes. But those people also aren't donating and helping at all. So it doesn't really make sense. And I get that he's a very rich, 20-year-old, which is kind of offensive to me. I want to be that rich. But he can donate a lot more, but he's donating more than everybody complaining combined. So
Yeah.
I don't think you should be talking. But that is my piece on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remain less angry than I was before we started the call and started talking about this.
Oh, you were ready. Like, you were livid at the beginning.
I was ready to throw hands. And it's so stupid because obviously I might be a little biased because I do also do special effects makeup. But like I said, people will get murdered every day, which is really dark. But nobody has a problem with that when it's recreated with makeup. Big
It's only a problem if you make it one.
And makeup artists, yeah, if you're doing it in a distasteful way. But nobody has a problem with it until James Charles does it.
Yeah.
And then they hate it, and then people who do it after James Charles get praise for it.
And it's like,
Does not make sense to me.
You don't have to be some James Charles stan to agree with that statement too.
Literally, so many people who don't even like James Charles on Twitter when it was a big thing when he did it. And he eventually did take the post down off Instagram, and I think maybe TikTok, I don't know.
No, it's still on TikTok.
Okay, yeah. But he did take it off of his Instagram, and even people on Twitter who don't even like James remotely at all. Like, I saw a tweet that was like, I hate James Charles because of all the actual problematic stuff he does, which is a very valid point. But even I disagree with the fact that he should, that with the hate he's getting because of this. It's just very interesting.
Yeah. It's not worth canceling.
It really isn't. I'm trying really hard to not pop off, but yeah, I think that's my piece. This
All
is
right,
the most
well,
I've ever talked about anything.
yeah, honestly, I was like, this is for the first one-on-one episode. I am so happy with this. I understand that, like, with the
Like, I
podcast,
am
you've
the
usually
host
been,
now.
so I understand that we do a lot more performing stuff, but, because of quarantine, performing might end up being an extra episode at some point, but we kind of wanted to devote our main episodes to that.
Yeah.
And then just have these just to chill. So for those of you that are expecting performing
This was
stuff,
very chill.
yeah, this is very chill. And then Alexis popped off.
I popped off a lot.
Oh yeah, but in the future we might do performing stuff. Who knows? But we kind of wanted to differentiate the extra episodes from our main line episodes. But school's out for us for the rest of the year. So honestly, you might see either more extra episodes, or you'll see more of we probably will start our technical season 2 earlier than expected. Either way, who knows? I personally don't want to start season 2 early because then that's more people in the Christmas episode or the holiday episode. I got to get used to calling it that because not everyone celebrates Christmas. Um, but
Just something. My phone cut out.
oh, you're fine. But I don't want to start season 2 early and then we have more people in December episode and then
Oh, that won't be chaotic.
that would be the literal definition of chaos. Because last year was fine. Last year we worked it out, but that was because some people left at certain times, and it was just
Did we work
a
it out?
chill to an extent. To an extent, your dramatic reading was great.
Yeah, my dramatic reading is
Um,
always great. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. Actually, I
It's
want you
also
to
the
do a
most
dramatic
fun I
reading.
have, to be honest.
I want you to do a dramatic reading for a performer spotlight, just so you know. However, I think that's a good place to end off this episode. Alexis, I told you this is going to be no longer than 45 minutes. I think we're like about to get to an hour and a half. Um, so I'm going to
It
end
was
this
an
here.
eventful episode.
It was very eventful. I'm glad that we had a nice topic to talk about. If you guys have any other topics you want us to bring up in these one-on-one episodes, let us know. And in the comments below or either on our social media, we will be looking into that. So we hope you guys can give us some good ideas. Because last time with the Q&A, I thought that was really nice. But now that we had a structured thing to talk about the whole episode, that was pretty cute.
Pretty cute. You should
Pretty
call this
cute.
episode Alexis popping off for an hour and a half.
I want to do quarantine quarreling.
Alexis is quarantine quarreling.
Yes,
She
Alexis is
fights
quarantine
everybody.
quarreling. Yes, she fights. She gets canceled for canceling people.
Honestly. No, people also get canceled for canceling people, and it's so
Yeah, that's
stupid.
true.
Like,
Um,
again, back to TikTok, I've seen so many people who get, like, canceled because they call out actual problematic people. But, like,
mhm,
I won't get into that right now. That's for
yeah,
another episode about cancel culture.
yeah. However, thanks guys. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna get the heck out of here with from y'all because y'all have been listening for way too long.
You've heard me talk too much today.
But thanks a lot for listening. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like on this video. Again, comment on anything you want us to hear in the future. Please be taking a look at our performer spotlight videos because it really does mean a lot to us as well as the performers in said videos. House of Holbein's about to hit 10,000 views as well.
Jeez.
I'm like, bro, I think 9,000, either 9,000 or 10,000, but we are like, that video is doing so well, and I can't
And then the rest of
express how
ours.
yeah, start watching the rest of them, all of you. Um, Thank you so
And
much,
if
though.
you're
I
not
really do
sick of me
appreciate it.
already, if you're
Oh,
not
no.
sick of me already, you can follow me on Instagram. And now Nick has to put my Instagram in the description.
Oh, now I do. Oops.
And if you don't,
All
you're
right.
canceled.
Yep. However, thanks again, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic day. Come again next time to the Coffee House Podcast. Bye, guys. And
That was so much.
Colin. I know.
This won't be long.